Hello you sex beasts, welcome back to War Thunder. In this video we are going to take a look at the SU-85M. Now before we move into the video itself, I want you to take a look at these scores. This is what we're going to look at today. It's a replay file, so I didn't manage to record the gameplay live, but it's still nonetheless going to be quite interesting. Now, this vehicle was suggested by Dragon1325. If you want to see some other vehicles, just leave your suggestions down in the comments down below and I might take a look at them. Now to the SU-85M. This is a Soviet Tier 3 battle rating 5.3 tank destroyer armed with a 85mm gun and some rather decent frontal armor. The chassis is based on the chassis of the T-34, no issues there. It's a very mobile tank destroyer that can still bounce some quite good shots. From the front, this thing is actually quite beastly armored, look at this. 75mm sloped back for an effective between 100 and 120mm depending on how you angle it as well. Even the driver's side, that tends to be a weak spot, is 70mm thick and surrounded by the armor itself. If you don't hit this spot here, this window for the driver, exactly straight on, it's going to be hard to penetrate this thing, especially if you keep this thing at longer distances, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Lower glacis armor is only 45mm thick, but due to the extreme angle, it's also not going to be easy to penetrate this. Weak spots from the front include, of course, the huge commander's cupola, which sticks out like a turret, almost. You could like mount a 20mm cannon on this and play turret defense, I don't even know. Side armor, of course, is only 45mm thick, as is the hull armor and the bug armor as well. It's pretty much just a T-34 with a fixed frontal mounted gun and some nice and thick armor plates. Now, taking a look at the internals, the SU-85 can have up to 4 crew members. You have a driver, a gunner, a loader, and the commander. To notice is that most of the vital crew are all on one side of the tank, and this is going to be important later on. You also have ammo racks here on the sides of the tank, in the bottom, and just in front of the engine. Now, to effectively use this thing, if you find yourself getting shot at, which you don't want to, ideally you want to choose this in a classical tank destroyer role by not getting shot at in the first place. That's probably not a bad idea. But if you do find yourself shot at, don't angle towards the right side, because doing that, you are going to expose most of your crew. A single shell can take you out if they penetrate from the right side. However, if you angle it to the left, the only thing they can really kill is the commander. Okay, given. This ammo rack in the bottom can prove troublesome if they are firing APHE, but it's still much better to risk that than to risk your entire crew. And on top of that, if an APHE shell goes through here, it's only going to kill the commander, which, no problem, it doesn't even need to be replaced. And the cannon breach is going to catch most of the shrapnel, just essentially sparing the rest of your crew. So it's always a good idea to angle this tank to the left. As for ammo racks, you can remove these 2 major ammo racks here by only carrying 31 rounds, and you can remove this back one by only carrying 16 rounds. And I always take out 31 rounds, because 16 rounds is not exactly enough. This gun is rather fast firing and you need the ammo to stay in combat effectively. And this back ammo rack here isn't too much trouble, to be honest here. It's not going to explode all that much. It's very well hidden. Sadly, you can't remove this ammo rack right here. This is where your last shells are stored, so you'll just have to live with that. As for the gun, you get a choice of 4 ammo types. You have the stock shell, which is pretty good. Has 140mm of penetration up close and 105mm at longer ranges. Explosive filler is pure TNT with 164 gram, which is quite a lot. That's actually quite a lot of explosive filler. This shell does tend to result in a lot of one-shot kills. The first shell you can unlock is an APHE shell, and to be honest, it is not good. It barely has more penetration than the regular shell. Doesn't carry it exceptionally well over range either. It has worse bounce chances even that. If you look at the bounce chances, this thing even bounces more than the regular shell, and it has less explosive filler. Overall, not worth it. not worth it. Just completely forgo the shell. It's completely useless. Just stick to the regular shell. And contrary to the SU-85, you also get an APCR shell with up to 180mm of penetration at closer ranges. Now, due to the nature of APCR, it is bad against sloped armor, bad against angled armor, and it doesn't do as much damage as APHE once it penetrates. But you do get that extra bit of penetration at closer ranges. So if you face against something like a... well, you don't even face King Tigers, that's the thing. This thing sits at a battle rating of 5.3, meaning that it never faces King Tigers. The hardest thing you're going to face is the Black Prince. So, yeah, it shouldn't have any problem to punch through that. Do keep in mind, however, that after 1000 meters it's not worth it using this shell anymore. I'd suggest taking about a 21 to 10 ratio of regular APHE and this APCR round. Looking at the overall stats, it has a decent all-around gun, it has some good armor, and it has some very good mobility as well. Top speed of 57 km per hour, an engine of 500 horsepower, fully upgraded of course, and a mass of only 31.6 tons. This gives this tank a power to weight ratio of about 18 horsepower per ton, which is a lot. This thing moves around. This thing moves around very, very well. It's actually one of those tank destroyers that can get into positions very quickly and still bounce some shots when you get shot at. I just absolutely love this thing. And you're going to see that in the gameplay right now. Alright, and here we are. Battle on Tunisia. This is a realistic gameplay, by the way. I did turn the markers off just because they kind of annoy me since they do show up in replay files, but you shouldn't have a problem to see the enemy tanks. Now, as you can see, we have two objective zones. We have our own one, which we have to defend, and the enemy base cap as well. Now, on this map, generally people do tend to go for the city, especially on this side of the spawn, and it's a lemming train of tanks just going for the tight city combat, which, to be honest, I would like to do as well, but this tank destroyer is not made for close quarter combats, as is any tank destroyer. If you're finding yourself at close range with a tank destroyer, you are doing something wrong. So I go the opposite way and go the long way around. Now my objective here is to find a spot where I can intercept enemy tanks that are trying to rush to our A cap. Because I know that they are going to come from this side. Just as our team is going through the city, the enemy team is going to go through the bridge on the western side of the map and trying to go and rush into our cap zone. Now sadly SU-85 does not have any desert camo, so I had to put some forest camo on here, but gladly your tanks get dirty the more you drive them. As you can see right now, our tank is getting rather brownish, and I don't want to spoil too much, but that is going to help us out in the very short future. Honestly, this was one of the best games I've had in a long time in War Thunder. I was kind of expecting this tank to not fare too well, because I have had bad experiences with it. I haven't played it for months now, and I remember it being not very good. It had decent armor, but somehow people still had no problem penetrating me. The gun didn't perform too well either for me. I don't know what was wrong with it, but it just didn't work for me. But I don't know if they buffed it since. But honestly, this thing is just amazing. I mean, look at the mobility. Look at the mobility. We are 2 minutes into the game, and we are already on the other side of the map. We're actually in a good position to set up camp right now, but I'm still going to try to go a little bit forward. Sadly, what screws me up here a little bit is the map border. My original plan was to go through the to the rocks on the right side, try to set up an ambush over there, but sadly the map border did not allow us to do that. Now at this stage I'm getting kind of worried. The enemy have comets, they have M18s, which are all very, very fast tanks, and you do not want to face an M18 at close range. Yes, you have the frontal armor, but your side armor is rather weak. Although I gotta give credit to this tank, because the hull traverse is absolutely amazing. And here's a fun fact: it's one of those tanks that actually fares better traversing on the spot than rolling. Oh, did you see that? That's an M18. That is an M18, and he did not see me. We're actually in a perfect position right here. This guy has never seen what's coming to him. One shot goes for the engine, explodes inside, gets the fuel tank. Oh, would you look at that? Okay, in game I wasn't laughing that much. I was actually pissing my pants right now because I would have expected the guy to see me. Honestly, what is it with people not seeing me lately? It was the same thing with the RBT-5. The RBT-5 is a huge freaking target with those rockets on the top, and somehow the enemy did not see me. And same thing here. I mean, the SU-85 is not small. It's not hard to see, but that guy did just not see me, and he had to pay the price for it. And in the space of 2 minutes, we have 3 kills. A little tip here, go to the spot. If you spawn on the northern side of the map and you are in this battle mode, go to the spot. It's absolutely amazing. You saw it. The enemy all flock through here and they never check the spot. Because honestly, they don't expect anyone to be here. The SU-85 is surprisingly fast. Like honestly, this thing moves around very, very quickly. And going back to the hull traverse, it's also very, very good. Even if you get your tracks blown off, you can still effectively turn around and point your guns at an enemy, as you're going to see in a bit. Now scouting the area for any more tanks. I see some shots going in to that rock over there, if you can see the mouse cursor. But the tank is currently hidden inside. So I'm gonna try to move a little bit forward, see if anything else is around. Oh, on the left side with me is an M18 and he did see me. Now take my time, and he very, very smartly evades my my line of sight just in time. Now I know exactly what this guy is trying to do. He's in an M18 and I'm in a tank destroyer. He's going to try to flank around. But again, the SU-85 is very, very mobile, and he did not expect me to pop up like there. Sadly, I hit his cannon barrel. But you can now not fire back. I mean, look at this hull traverse. Look at the hull traverse. No problem keeping up the M18. Get my gun on his engine, blow him up in one shot. It's just a combination of this tank, honestly. It's a good armor, it's a good mobility, and a good shell. The shell, the stock shell you get with this gun is amazing. The explosive filler death almost guarantees that you get one-shot kills. And if you don't get a one-shot kill, you're going to cripple the enemy tank so much that it can't fight back. It's essentially just 3 kills, as long as they don't see you. And the M18 that was behind that rock earlier getting shot at, poked his head out, did not see his teammate die, and swiftly took karma to the side. So we are now 6 or 7 minutes into the game and I'm already sitting on a ace game. 5 kills so far. Gotta say, this was pretty exciting indeed. But it is not over just yet. Again, I spot scout the area with my binoculars. A little trip. English is hard. English is very hard. A little tip there. Yes. If you didn't see my T44 122 video, well, I'm going to say it again. Binoculars are your friend. Like, honestly. They provide a couple of advantages. First off, they extend your view range, because they do have more zoom than your regular gun sight. They also make targets a little bit more clearer. If you compare the view between your gun sight and the binoculars, you have a wider field of view, you can zoom in, and you have a clearer image at the same time. Overall, it's much easier to spot tanks with the binoculars than it is with the gun sight. Not only that, they provide two other bonuses. First off, the viewpoint of the binoculars is elevated. It's on the top of the commander's cupola. Essentially, it simulates the commander being outside of the tank, scouting the area. Now, if I go on, that's an AA shooting me from the side, and I'm not sure if he did have AP loaded or not, but he did do almost no damage. Tries to run away, but not gonna happen, mate. I feel kind of sad for him, because he did play... Well, he did play it right and he did not play it right. He was on my side and I did not see him, so he had the advantage there. But he did not penetrate me and just gave his position away. If he did not fire at me, he would have survived that, because I would have never seen him. Now I tried to go over the bridge over here, but, well, destructible environments foils my plans. Wanted to go over the bridge, which is a faster route, just because you get less ground resistance on the streets than you get on the river down below. But sadly, somehow the enemy managed to destroy the wooden planks that hold the bridge together. I don't know if that was intentional, I don't know if it was just someone playing around, but actually hindered me in getting to the enemy base faster. Now if you look to the map on the bottom right corner, you can see that our team are moving up into the enemy spawn and the enemy cap zone. Now, having offense from one side is good, but it's not the best offense you can make, especially with the enemy tank. If the enemy team is spawning in a heavy tank, your team might have troubles, as one of my teammates just died in the spawn zone. So what I try to do is rush forwards, stay with the battle, and get into a flank and fire position. If you can create some double lines of fire on the enemy, we are going to have some major advantages here. And as you can see, most of the enemies that have died are now going for the last scraps, trying to spawn into AA vehicles. The guy in the AA truck, of course, has so little armor that it doesn't activate my fuse. Still somehow managed to take out his gunner and his, not his gunner, his driver and his commander. Low THE shell taken out in the last shot. Yes, by the way, that's why I always take out HE shells. They are very, very useful in fights against AA. Like here, I had an APHE shell loaded. I knew that I wouldn't have done any damage to that guy if I shot him with APHE. So fired my shot into the rock, did not alert him to my position, loaded HE and took him out in one shot. Now we're going to run into some trouble right now. If you notice, we are right inside the enemy spawn. And this is not a good spot to be in. Now the M18 over there cannot see us, we are very well hidden by the bushes here, and I'll just use third person view to get a shot into him. By the way, it's a good idea to try and hone your skills with the third person camera. You can do some amazing shots without having to, well, cope with all the foliage and obstacles inside your aiming reticle. The guy spawned, sadly he turned into the other way, and, well, too bad for him. Now I am being supported by T-34 here, but that is a M6, if I'm not mistaken. That thing is very, very, very heavily armored. Now, look at this, I'm shooting at the side and I'm not being able to penetrate him. The first two shots did not penetrate. Teammate goes for the shot, gets taken out by the M6 however. The M6 is now firing at me. I do take some spalling damage, gets a shot underneath his side armor, right into the ammo rack, and cook him off. And there you can see, at close range, the armor works for you. It's again, most of the tank destroyers either have very good armor or very good mobility. A prime example would, for example, be the German tank destroyers like the Panzer 470, which have very, very good armor but a rather bad mobility. And on the other spectrum we have stuff like the M18, which has amazing mobility but rather bad armor. And sadly, that spells the end of our little adventure here. I did try to angle my tank to the side, but the guy was smart than that. He did go for the right side of the tank and took me out in one shot. Exactly as he should. There was an APHE shell, bounced to the outer armor and exploded inside, killing all of the crew. And that's exactly how you take the tank down. All you have to do is aim for the right side, and you're going to have no problem. And this is pretty much it. 11 kills in the SU-85M Dragon. Hopefully you learned some tips and tricks to how to use this tank effectively. Hopefully you guys at home have also learned some new stuff today, and I'm expecting to see you in the battlefield very, very soon. Now, if you like this video, leave a like rating and comment down below what you would like to see next. I'm actually interested to check out a multitude of new tanks, so just keep the suggestions down below in the comment section. I'll read through every single one of them, and who knows, maybe I'm going to play your suggested tank. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. My name is MikeGoesBoom. Thanks for watching.